Morning, tubbers. Let me see if I can get the camera just about right. Right, I'm at where I have been before, in Tuxford. It's Friday the 4th of September, and today I am supposed to have that Friday feeling because it's Friday and it was a bank holiday Monday, so it was only 4 days, so it's come really quick. And I've got the blues because my truck is fully loaded. I got a local trip. Most of it is going to a big food supply chain in Grantham. One of you knows who that is. So most of it goes there, and the rest should be easy streets, then just some collections for the day. However, a couple of days ago, this truck I'm in, which is old and battered, it's an 05 plate, so what's that, 10 years old, it developed an air leak, and not just a little leak that the compressors can keep up with, but a big leak. So fortunately it didn't develop it until my last drop of 2 days ago. I bought the truck back and it was a substantial leak. I went in to see the mechanics and showed him where it come from. He found it straight away. He said, I'll sort it. Next day, no air leak. Great stuff. No problem all day yesterday. Well, I say no problem. Come in today and I've just doing my checks, and it was funny, when I started it up I had to build the pressure up, and normally it holds its pressure, not a problem. So I suspected there was something wrong, so I went listening for air leaks, and lo and behold, the very same air leak is back, and it's a big one. So I've got to wait for the mechanics to come in now, and I've still got one pallet left to load. I don't know if it's in. No, this is not it. No. Anyway, so yeah, I was hoping for a better day today, because yesterday was a humdinger. I've watched people's vlogs. Master Vernon. And he says, do you know what? I'm just having one of them days. And you just don't understand. I know Mr. J. He's done a vlog. He said, yeah, I've had one of them days. And Rock God did one where he was down in Somerset and he'd been getting wet all day, and he went to the local chippy and it was all glitzy and it wasn't very good. And because he's from up north, he got a deadpan face. He was dead miserable and mardy about it, which just made it really, really funny in my eyes. I've got a black sense of humour. So yeah. But yeah, and I've thought, how come these guys have these sort of days? Well, now I bloody know. Because yesterday I was in the Doncaster area, and my first drop should have been straightforward, 3 pallets, drive and drop, bang. No. It was at a big warehouse. Now they have a lot of these stores around towns. I'm not going to give you the name, but they're middle of the range, if you get me. And I pulled on site expecting to be 20 minutes. 25 minutes is reasonable. An hour. And I started nagging at them, and they go, yeah. We'll send someone with a forklift over. And in the end, I walked into the office and I said, right, you got 5 minutes before I start buttoning up and this load gets failed and I'm off. It was three pallets of Draper tools. So yeah, I didn't fancy having them sat on the back because they were heavy, and I had a handball with a pallet truck and they'd have got in the way. So anyway, lo and behold, 2 minutes later, a forklift. He turns up, whips me off. It took him 30 seconds. Bear in mind, my gripe with it is that it was a 9 AM arrival, and I got there at 5 to 9, which, bearing in mind I'd had problems strapping up, was pretty good. So I was on time. I've done my part. I've got their goods to site in good condition on time. That's my job done. So all they had to do is take it off, but no, they kept me over an hour and 15 minutes by the time I drove off site. So yeah, anyway, I put that behind me. The next one, the big health place, pharmaceutical. 2 big pallets, pulled into the yard, like bloody ghost town. Couldn't find anybody. I did find a bloke. He looked at me and acknowledged me. I said, "Oh, I've just got 2 pallets for you." And okay. Anyway, 15 minutes goes by. 20 minutes goes by. Still nobody. So I goes back in. I said, "Any chance I can get these 2 pallets off?" And this other fellow, "You'll just have to wait your turn. We do a queue system here, you know." I thought, you just don't get it, do you? That as a multi-dropper, you have to drop your load and go, because there's not the money in the load to be sat around waiting on their staff. You know, it's not our fault that they don't put enough staff on or whatever, or they got not enough forklifts, etc. So yeah. So I rung the office back. I said, "Look, I'm being messed around at this one. I can't believe it. It's putting me really behind." He said, "Well, fail it." And I thought, right, fine. Buttons up, just drives off. And I gets to the next one, fine. How it should be. Within 15 minutes, I was unloaded and I was off on my travels again. And then I gets to Amazon, and I just gets up to the gate, which is a 15-mile trek from my last drop, and the office rings. "We've been trying to phone you." I said, "Yeah, but I'm on the M18. You know, I can't pick the phone up, and I don't know how to dial it into the radio. I don't even know if you can with this radio. But anyway, there's no way on God's given earth I'm picking the phone up while I'm driving. It just ain't happening." And so yeah, they collared me just before I went into Amazon. He said, "Amazon won't tip you." So I'd got all these loads on the back, and I got various bits and bobs that had to come off the back with a pump truck. One of them being a 900 weight of topsoil. Well, it didn't look much like topsoil to me. I wanted it out of my garden, but anyway, one of these big bags with a pallet truck. Right, and it was at a school, so I had to go to a collect. I was due to collect something a bit later on in Doncaster. I had to go there, unload the failed deliveries, leave them there as storage, with the intent of going back later. Then I went to this school. I pulled up at this school, and if I hadn't been so far behind, I'd have filmed it. Because it was proper tight. I know drivers come on and say, "Yeah, it was proper tight," and you lot go, "Yeah, whatever, driver, yeah." But it was. I had to drive in forwards, then reverse back through a bloody tight gate. To make it worse, some bellend had parked a shipping container close to the gate, so you could only just squeeze by. And I mean, there was guttering hanging over on this canopy, and it was just so tight. But I squeezed it in. Bear in mind, there's children there as well. You don't want to squish. You don't want to squish the tiddlers. They make an awful mess. So yeah, I got it in there, and I had to get this. I say it was 900 weight. That's near enough a ton. Off with this pallet truck. And those that do use the pallet trucks know that as you approach the tail lift, bear in mind you're supposed to have bump stops that flip up, that you can flip up to stop your load running away with you. I'm sure you've seen that YouTube clip where that fella goes up to his tailgate, it runs away with him, and he hangs on to it, the load goes down, the weight flips and he goes over like a sack of spuds. Well, I'd have just let go, but he hung on to it, bless him, and he went phew, like a treasure. And yeah, so you're trying to inch it forward because there's no brakes on a pump truck. So, but I got it down safely. And there was just a little bit of an incline. I'm talking the slightest of inclines. I had to try and get this pallet truck up it with this soil. Bugger me. It was. In the end, I had to leave the pallet truck set, go behind the soil and push it like a rugby player, like I was in a rugby scrum. And I just managed to get it up. So that took for however long. Everything took forever. Then my next drop, I couldn't find. I've been up and down this road, up and down, looking for a sign. Now, bear in mind, I'm honed into looking for signs now, and I'm even looking for little signs. You know, on these call systems, when you've got security gates, just the little labels. Are you even looking for them? No, couldn't find it. The name of the company, no. And I asked a few people. Never heard of them, mate. I said, well, it's such and such and such and such. No, sorry, I'm such and such a road. No. Anyway, I just happened to stop at this like MOT centre. I went, yeah, you haven't heard of these guys, have you? And he went, do you know, it rings a bell. My mate's mate, he works on camper vans, kits them out and whatnot. He does ambulances and stuff like that as well. And he said, and he told me where to go. So I gets there, pulls up outside and they're stood outside. Have you guys ever thought of putting a bloody sign on that gate saying that you're here? I said, how are you supposed to drum up business? I said, what about self-promotion? But the one thing about the Doncaster lot that I was dropping off yesterday was that this guy, I think I'm mental because I'm talking to myself. I'm alright. Yeah, the Doncaster lot, they got a good sense of humour, the Yorkshire sense of humour. They kept me going yesterday afternoon, and this other guy, his name was Foxy, so we had a bit of a laugh. Yeah, so I got that one done. Then it was one last drop at another school, and then I was pick a load up where I dropped my 3 pallets off. So it was a humdinger of a day. And I used all 12 hours of my legal 12 hours that I'm allowed to work. I used them all up yesterday. So, yeah, it's a bit of a bugger, I'm afraid. So I was hoping for today to be a bit better. But no, it's not started off very good. So I'm yet to see what happens. I'm going to see the mechanic when he comes in a minute. There we have it. I do want to put something out there to you all. I've got this absolutely brilliant idea, and you'll have to remember you heard it here first. Alright, so yeah, I shall do a video a bit later. Alright, look after yourselves, drive safe, have a good Friday day. Feeling day, feeling day. Feeling. Hello again. I got on the road. They sorted the air leak out. The brake pedal is sticking on ever so slightly. I presume because there's crud under it or something, and it was just allowing the air straight back out again. So he's put a bit of WD-40 under the pedal, and it, touch wood, seems alright. So I'm on the road, and I'm at that big food distribution warehouse in Grampian, and I'm waiting to be tipped. I've already tipped one side. I've got 2 pallets to tip here, and then I'm waiting. I don't know if you can see the red light. maybe not. I'm waiting on a green light so I can get off this bay. So yeah, well, I've been doing this job 3 weeks, and I want to revolutionise it. So this is up for debate, and what your findings are. Everybody that delivers this kind of stuff will know that a big part of the job is trying to find where to drop. You're always looking for streets that aren't on the sat nav. You're looking for names of companies that I say they can be 50-foot billboards, or they can be the size of a postage stamp on one of those little bells. So some of them can be a real bugger to find. And I find that postcodes have got the limits. Postcodes have got the limits, and I think postcodes move over. You've had your day. It's time to revolutionise the way we do logistics, from letters to truckloads, whatever. Instead of having postcodes, why can't we all switch to satellite references? Because you can satellite GPS is accurate within a couple of feet. So somewhere like this site, which is, I don't know, 200 acres, 300 acres, something like that, and I've got, hold the line, hello, Paul speaking. Hello. They've taken a couple of pallets off me. I'm waiting another one to slide off the back. Then I've got one more to do on this side. So it's 3 separate drops. I don't. The last one is 1 minute. Welton Bibby. Welton Bibby. That's the last one to go to brakes. Yeah. Okay, mate. Cheers. Bye. Bye. Sorry about that. Yes. So yeah, I think postcodes have had the day, and that a GPS coordinate would be order of the day. Because this I've got, as you may have just heard that conversation. I've had 5 pallets to drop one end, 2 to drop the bay I'm on, and I've got 1 more to drop another part of the site which I've not been to before. So if you had a GPS coordinate, you could go to within feet of the goods in office. You know, they could take you right there. No messing around, no wasting bloody time. And time, as I've figured out in this industry, is precious. That's where money's made and lost. So yeah, move over postcodes. You've had your day. Like, they'll take you within a street, and that street can be bloody 10 miles long. You know, it's just too vague, and as a form of finding industrial premises, postcodes are definitely not the way forward. So yeah, I'm just wondering if it's time to give them the elbow. Let's get in the 21st century, for God's sake. We've all got satellite navigation. The satellites are up there to be used. Let's maximise our use of them. I don't know if anybody else has got an opinion on this. If you've had problems finding addresses, etc. Because I'm pretty sure everybody runs into this problem. So yeah, you keep your postcodes alongside, but in addition, just to have a GPS coordinate. Yeah, that's how I'm going to revolutionise this industry. You heard it here first, right? It's date stamped this video, so don't go copyrighting my ideas. Okay. Another thing, right? When I was a car driver, I couldn't understand why lorry drivers overtake each other on the dual carriageway, and I mean, sometimes I've known lorry drivers to take 3 miles to overtake, which is excessive, and it rubs car drivers up the wrong way. Well, the question to you all is, well, I now know why it's done, because you sit there, not that my cruise control works on this truck, but sit there on cruise control, yeah? And depending on what vehicle you're driving, depending on and your company that you drive for, it depends on how they'll limit it. Like this one is limited to 85 kilometres, which is 50 miles an hour. Well, a lot of trucks will do 55, 56 miles an hour. But I know a lot of the supermarket trucks, they tend to be limited to about 50. The health and safety bods and green people, they restrict them to 50 to keep him within that green rev band. But yeah, so there we are. None of us has got a jump on each other. We're all doing pretty much the same speed. What I've started doing is, if somebody's just trying to overtake me, I just knock off the cruise for a few seconds, let them get past, flag them in, and then let them run out a couple of lengths, and then get back up to my cruising speed. So yeah, why can't we all do that? Why can't the owners? I mean, if you're only going 1 mile an hour faster than the guy in front, then knock your cruise control off 1 and sit behind him, because it's not worth it. If you're doing 3, 4 faster than the other guy, then it's maybe worth an overtake, and the guy that you're overtaking the onus is on them just to knock back a second and let you in, and then they can sit back on their limit. So, but if we all played that game, we wouldn't rub car drivers up the wrong way, you know. So I think the responsibility is on us. So that's another debate for you to let's have that talk. That's all I've got. It's my only issues up to now. But yeah, so my green light's on. I'm good to go and get my keys. So drive safe.